God.
I can understand that.
But so there's no way you can deem a woman a traditional woman if she's had sex.
No. I wouldn't say that.
With her husband.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. Like,
okay. Now hear me out. But look what she just said with her husband. But hear me out. Even it's biblical that if you hear me out, if you slept with somebody and that man is still alive, that's your husband, and the minute that woman goes to sleep with another man, she is an adult. I don't want to get biblical tonight. Y'all didn't read that part. Y'all guys didn't read that part yet. All you heard was Jesus loves us all. Love your neighbor like you treat your neighbor like you want you to treat yourself, and God only judging. That's as far as I guys read. All right.
I got my swag right, feeling crispy clean. Girl, I'm the flyest mother you've ever seen.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Hear Me Out podcast. I am your host, Michael May, and today we're going to get into this. Now, I want to say this. If you're new to the channel, like the video, share the video, turn on the notifications, because I'm going to be dropping bangers. Now, listen, y'all already seen some of my other videos. I get a little emotional. I get a little excited, but hear me out. I want y'all to understand something today, right? Remember I told y'all, I don't rock with too many female content creators. But this lady here, Just Pearly Things. Why? Because hear me out. Most women are not speaking from a place of experience. But according to Just Pearly Things, she grew up with mom and dad. She grew up in a traditional household. She's seen the pros and cons of a healthy relationship. But this woman, she makes enough money. I hope and pray that she is actually paying for at least one armed security officer or guard. Just Pearly Things, you come to the U.S., I got you. Licensed up, I got you. We're going to take care of you over here on this side. You hear? You hear me? Hear me out. Hear me out, Just Pearly. But hear me out, all jokes aside. This woman here, you see, what I've noticed about her show, and I'm going to be reacting to a lot of her videos, is this. She's speaking from a place of experience. And one thing I've learned from Dr. Miles Monroe, I had opportunity when I was much younger to get a chance to actually speak with him for like a good 5-10 minutes. One thing he always said to me was this, especially me being a man of God. And I know I'll be struggling with my cussing. I get it. I know I'm struggling. I ain't perfect in my walk, but I'm working on it. But hear me out. One thing I've always taken to heart that he's always said to me was, you can only reach people to their deepest level of understanding. Right? Now, Steve Harvey always told the story about the first class and how he never understood what first class was about until he went first class. Now, I will say this. Maybe up until about 5 years ago, I actually got on a plane. I was on American Airlines. Business. Tomorrow, we had the bed, the pillows, and all that. My own little TV. I'm sitting here like, what in the... Big shout out to Joe. Joe, I love you, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Joe put me on to a lot of the business side of things. Because of him, I had opportunity to meet a lot of top dogs, a lot of top professionals in the game. So when I'm speaking from experience. But I didn't understand what was the big deal about first class. Now, it wasn't only about being first class. It was about the experience. Someone can say whatever they want. It's also about the treatment. Like, the quality was like nothing else. Like, man, I get you anything else, Michael? I'm like, yo, like, this is type fire. Mind you, I couldn't even. I was too hype. I couldn't even sleep. But back to this. Just Pearly is speaking from experience. So a lot of the women on her panel, I don't think she understands. And you could tell Just Pearly believes what she's actually saying. She believes it. And this is one reason why I rock with her channel. I'm showing it right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving her flowers right now while she's alive. You know, I ain't one of those guys take somebody's content and I'm not gonna, no, I want to show them love right there. Just Pearly Things. Go subscribe to her channel. Subscribe to my channel while you at it too. Cause I'm gonna be talking about a lot of different topics, some reactions, some real things happening in the world. I've been speaking about so many different things on my Instagram. Bachelor tax, which is coming on the way. I've warned so many people of mine about the food shortage about a year before it happened. And look, that whole formula thing, I've been speaking about it on my Instagram, but now I'm bringing it to you guys here. But this video right here, Just Pearly is working an uphill battle. And I want you to understand that her coming from different circumstances already, it puts her at a disadvantage. But I want you to hear the delusion that my man Mediocre always says, the delusion, the absurd delusion of these women, because these women is out of their minds. Let's rock and roll.
Can I just ask, can a modern day woman turn back into a traditional woman?
She can be a traditional. She can be a traditional woman in practice, but in terms of
mentality.
I think there are some things that a traditional woman moves a certain way in when she's young, that's going to benefit her when she's older.
A traditional woman is pure, is a virgin. So by that definition, no, you can't become a traditional woman.
I think you can be traditional in practice.
What, pure, like as in not even one?
Untouched.
Oh my God.
Untouched.
So wait, you are not deemed a traditional woman if
Wow.
you're not a virgin.
I mean, no, if you
I'm gonna let Just Pearly talk.
look
It's
at
the
if you
No,
look,
I-
if you look at the body counts from before the 60s when birth control was introduced, it was like 1, 2. Like the majority of women only had 1, maybe 2 lifetime partners before the 60s.
That's mad.
Okay, so
Yeah.
based on
Now
sleeping,
they're like
So now, time out. Hear me out, right? I want to say something about this. The gentleman was correct. The gentleman in the gray suit. Ladies, you could only practice being traditional if you went. Hear me out. Oh my God. I've said this so many times. Even before Kevin, I would say this to I will go back to high school if I have to. A traditional woman moves a very specific kind of way. She is very intentional from a very young age to as she gets older and then she starts to runs into guys. A woman moves in a very specific way. So technically, no, you cannot be traditional after all of the years. And I want you to understand, that's that soft girl era shit that I was telling y'all guys about on Instagram. This is the thing. You know how long it would take a woman who, I'm independent, I don't need no man. You know how much work she would have to put in to become the woman that she would need to be taken serious by a man who really wants to have a wife? That's why I said in my last video, for some women, it's just over. Just continue down the path you're going and just get used up. Just be target practice for these young kids, because that's the best you're probably going to get. Because for you to really change and become who you need to become for a man, you're not going to want to put in the work. So don't even waste your time. It's what that was wrong. All right. you're not going to be 30 years old plus saying, now I'm going to go back to being a traditional woman. Hear me out. You could try. It doesn't mean that people are going to forget. I always tell you guys, please have the memory of an elephant. I need you to remember. Listen. Oh my God, let's keep going. And I want you to understand something. Yes. Traditionally, a woman would be a virgin when she meets her husband. Now, I'm not going to get all biblical, but if we were to get biblical for a quick second, ladies, once you have sex with the first man that you have sex with, that is your husband. Oh, but y'all never read that part of the Bible. But you heard, you can't judge me, only God can judge me. The fuck out. Working on it. It's funny how y'all get to pick and choose what y'all read in the Bible, but we're not here for that. Let's keep going.
Like
I'll be
less than
honest.
5, please.
I'll be honest, I don't want to virgin. I don't.
And I will say this, just pearly thing is correct. There are studies that show if a woman has been with 5 men or more, she genuinely would have problems. And yes, I'm going to play another video that speaks about how men I want to get biblical with right now because let's keep going. Ladies, the more bodies you have, the worse it is for you. The worst outcome it is for you, and the more people that you're going to compare the person that you're with. And the likelihood is you're going to settle for somebody that you don't want, and you're going to end up sitting there, stepping out on that man anyway. But let's just keep going. Go ahead, Pearly.
Dear God.
I
I'm
can
looking for a
understand
virgin.
that.
But, so there's no way you can deem a woman
No.
a traditional woman if she's had sex.
No, I wouldn't say that.
With her husband.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
Okay,
Now, hear me out. But look what she just said with her husband. But hear me out. Even it's biblical that if you hear me out, if you slept with somebody and that man is still alive, that's your husband. And the minute that woman goes to sleep with another man, she is an adult. I don't want to get biblical tonight. Cause y'all didn't read that part. Y'all guys didn't read that part yet. All you heard was Jesus loves us all. Love your neighbor treat your neighbor like you want to treat yourself. And God only can judge me. That's as far as y'all guys read. All right, let's keep going.
if we're talking percentage rise, right? Let's say you take the average girl who she played the field, right? And then when she gets older, she wants a man that starts moving in a traditional way, right? So you can be, okay, she's like 60% of a traditional woman. And they take another woman who maybe she's been like that since day dot. Okay, she's 90% in terms of how traditional she is. So you can move in a traditional way. I'm just not like, oh, well, if you be this way, that's that.
But
there is,
Sorry, can you
but
guys
there are,
answer the question? What is a traditional woman?
Yeah,
I
am confused.
I would say it's like it's a woman that's pure. She's youthful. And if she's not youthful, she's married. So like you can have a traditional woman that's married if she's older. She has to like prioritize the family above all else. So I would say like she's the type of girl that has like Kevin Samuels would say, do you have a cookbook?
Now, just Pearly, she is correct. Hear me out. Listen to what I'm going to say. When I help women out in situations, I want you to understand. Putting the family first is paramount. It's the very first thing that should be on her list. This is where I lose every single woman. And then she wonders why. Why am I having a hard time with my husband? And why am I... Hear me out. Your husband comes before his own fucking kids. Your husband comes before the kids. Can you do that? Like, yeah, women, hear me out. Pay attention. God, husband, wife, children. Are you ready? If you flip it. Now, that's how it starts from the top going down. Now, if you reverse it, going back up, the children look to the mom. The mom supposed to look to the husband. And the husband's supposed to be led by God. I'm about to, oh my. Ooh. Hear me out. But the problem is this. Most of the time, so this is the husband. The husband is the umbrella over the family. He covers the whole family. Thing is this. His priority, the man's priority should be the whole family. I ain't trying to get biblical. I'm trying to keep it on topic, but just real fast. He's supposed to cover the whole family. Everyone under his care is his responsibility. So if he's looking out for everybody under him, who's looking out for the father? Who's looking out for the head? It's supposed to be the woman. The woman's supposed to give the kids the example of what they supposed to desire when they get older. But I don't want to talk about that. We're not gonna get biblical tonight. We're not gonna do that. Let's keep going. Pearly, keep going.
And it's true. Like how do you foster tradition in your home? But I don't think you can be a traditional woman unless you're either married or a virgin.
I feel like
if you're a traditional woman, you're not dating. You are actually being courted by men, which is considered courtship. We'll do another video about that another time, because a lot of y'all women get it confused. Y'all chicks are out here dating. You're not supposed to date. You're supposed to be courted. If you was a traditional woman, but you're not. Y'all a bunch of modern women out here wanting traditional men. That's over. That's never happening. But let's keep on going. Go ahead, Pearly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt the host, Pearly. Don't scream at me, Pearly. I don't like that. Let's go.
like being traditional is boring. Like as women, I feel like we're constantly being told how to be
Fair
all
use.
the time. Like you have to be like this. You have to
What
do
are men
this.
on?
Like
This
Are
is.
you a feminist?
Are you a feminist?
yeah, I guess so. Like
Oh, allow it.
So okay.
I'm not on anyone's side. I'm just I think I'm here today to just learn, right? So, do you now think because being what is boring in being a traditional woman?
like
What's
the
boring?
whole idea of like staying at home and cooking and like looking after the kids, like
Do you think you only think that way because
We're going to stop it right here. This is another problem. And this is what I wanted to talk about, right? Hear me out. This is the meat and potatoes right here. When Kevin said it on one of his live streams, my lady literally was like, yo, why does this man say everything that you said? My grandmother raised us, me and my brothers. My mom passed away when I was young. I'm not going to get into that tonight. I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother gave me some knowledge that I would never forget. But I want y'all to understand something, right? My grandmother always told me, she said, do you know what a stable relationship looks like? It's boring. It's boring. A stable, healthy relationship is boring. It is boring. You're gonna hear me out. My grandmother always taught me this trick, right? And I've tested it out on a lot of relationships. Right? Hear me out. Even if it was just a dating or getting to know somebody or actually being with somebody in a long-term relationship, is this. There's a point in time in a relationship called nothingness. There is a point in time in a relationship where literally nothing happens. There is no excitement. There may not even be any sex. That's not everybody always saying sex is marriages, whatever. But there comes a time in a relationship where there's something called nothingness. The faster and the earlier you could practice it, you would find out if your woman is really ready to be in a relationship. Even if it's days, just go days and just hang out in the house and do nothing. Hey, it's Saturday. What you want to do? Nothing. I want to just chill out and relax in the crib, but maybe watch a game and just read a book. Fellas, this is it may sound crazy. Push your woman. And I'm not saying do it all the time, because if you guys are young, enjoy yourselves. Especially if you don't have no kids, try to get out there and enjoy yourself, right? Try your very, 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 very best. But have periods and times where there's nothing. Where there's nothing going on. I guarantee you, your relationships would be different. Now you're going to get to weed out the bullshit. All right, she's really down. She's ready. Even, hear me out. Hear me out. Before Coming to America Part 2 dropped, I went and sat down and watched Coming to America with my wife. And literally, she's like, what's Coming to America? And in my mind, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? And she's like, no, what's that? She grew up different. She was sheltered. You understand what I'm saying? But it's like, and I'm sitting here through the whole movie. I'm sitting here like, she's your queen to be. I'm sitting here, every word. Good morning, my neighbors. Like, I'm saying everything. And she's sitting here looking at me like, who the fuck did I just get with? But I wanted to show her what it was that I was experiencing, right? And what the movie's fire. Then Coming to America Part 2 came out and she was like, it's a dud. But just to sit down with her is fire. Like, she watched La Bamba because of me. I'm sitting here like, Baila Bamba, Baila Bamba, Baila Bamba, te necesito una foto en el glass. She's sitting here like, what the fuck? Now, she likes Selena. What girl doesn't like Selena? She be sitting here, late at night when all the world. I'm sitting here like, now I'll try. Hit me out. I'll be like, and I know it's almost ending. And then she'll be like, oh my God, the TV show is coming out. I'm like, holy shit. But hear me out. The moral of the story is this. There's going to be a point in time in your relationship where there's going to be nothing that happens. I have deliberately got to the point in my relationship where nothing would happen. Then once I seen that she was able to manage that, I bet let's go out. Now we're going to movies, and now we're going doing this. We be shooting guns, and then it's like nothingness again. And then it's like, why? It's almost like Dr. Miles Monroe told me this as well. He said, try to master the art of being uncomfortable. Hear me out. Some of y'all may not know. For those who didn't watch the other videos, here we go. There was a point in time when I was homeless and I was living in the street. And I slept on benches when I was younger. I had no business doing it. Hungry, eating out of garbage cans. And there were times that I got it all back. I got 75, 85s on the wall. We got computers set up, PS5s and BMWs, and like, life is not too bad. I got beautiful boys. I got a beautiful life. And there are times that I will intentionally sleep on the floor. There are times where I would intentionally fast. Just to never get too comfortable with being comfortable, I make myself uncomfortable. And that's all you will be doing in your relationship. Every now and again, practice nothingness. This lady right here on the screen that you see right here, she's going to be miserable for the rest of her life, because for her, it's boring. She's going to be miserable. If the man ain't doing jumping jacks every single day, the man is going to have to entertain her like a clown. So she is done. But y'all already know, I don't want to continue running on. Like I said, I have real life world experience. And I'm going to bring it to you guys in each and every video. You guys are going to want to stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, turn on notifications. Y'all already know. I am your host, Michael May. Welcome to the Hear Me Out podcast. I'm going to have other guests, other big guests. You guys are going to learn who I am. I'm not just I'm not a small fry. You understand? But y'all already know. Till next time, we are out of here.